Hey everybody, how is it going today? Well, in this video, I'm going to be taking a look at Gilead Sciences. Now, they've been stuck in a downtrend, but I think things might be turning around soon, so I'm going to be taking a small short-term options trade on them. I'm going to show you why I'm taking this trade and then go over some other charts in the market that have been red hot. If you're new to the channel, I like to find short-term and long-term trading and investing opportunities in typically lower-priced stocks. I like to find undervalued, underappreciated stocks with high growth potential and talk about all other things finance-related as well. If that's something that interests you, please consider subscribing so you don't miss any future trading or investing ideas. And remember, I am not a financial advisor, so please do all of your own research before buying any of these stocks. Now, I'm only planning on doing a short-term technical trade on Gilead Sciences, so I'm not going to go too in-depth on the company. But if you're not familiar with who they are, Gilead Sciences Incorporated is an American biopharmaceutical company headquartered in Foster City, California that researches, develops, and commercializes drugs. The company focuses primarily on antiviral drugs used in the treatment of HIV, hepatitis C, hepatitis B, and influenza. Now, Gilead has been stuck in a bit of a falling wedge formation for the last couple of months, which typically result in a breakout to the upside. Gilead has been trading down because of downgrades and price target cuts, but in my opinion, I think the selling has been overdone. Now, these factors and a recent failure to hold long-term support has caused short sellers to start piling into the stocks, as shares that have been shorted has risen over 40% recently. Now, Gilead recently reported better than expected third quarter earnings of $360 million or 29 cents a share on revenue of $6.58 billion, up from $5.6 billion a year ago. After adjusting for acquisition-related expenses, the company reported earnings of $2.11 a share, up from $1.75 a share in the same quarter a year ago. Now, I'm only planning on trading Gilead in the short term, but I think Gilead is also looking like a bullish bet for a medium to long-term bounce as well. All right, everybody, this is the hourly chart of Gilead Sciences on my Interactive Brokers trading software. What I am looking to do is purchase some options that are out of the money. I'm probably looking at the 63 strike price about 10 days out. So I'm thinking that we have a decent chance of pushing through this resistance level right here, and if we do, it should be a nice move up, and these options should appreciate quite nicely if we do get that move. This is a high risk, low probability trade, so I'm not going to be jumping in with a lot of money. But if I go over to the option chain real quick, show you what I'm looking at. I am looking at the 63 strike, and at about 10 days away. This is the November 27th expiration. And right now they are at, the bid is at 21 cents and the ask is at 26 cents. I'm actually going to put in my order at probably 20 cents. The price has gone up a little bit since I started making this video, and I'm hoping that price is going to pull back under $60.50. And that should be enough to get the bid ask down to where I would be comfortable entering. I think I'm probably going to enter, probably just going to buy about 5 to 10 contracts because, like I said, this is a low probability trade. You know, the number that I like to look at is the delta. The delta is telling you the chances of the stock closing above that strike price within the amount of days that are left on that contract. So the delta is telling us that if this stock continues to move in the manner that it is, it has less than an 18% chance of closing above 63, and that's what I want it to do. So this has a 4 out of 5 chance of failing, so you don't want to be betting the farm on these. But let me go enter this order right now. I think I am going to do, I think I'm just going to do 5 for now since this is a low probability trade. And I am going to adjust that bid down to 21 cents. Right now that is exactly where it's at. Chances are it's not going to execute. Usually if I put in an option order in between these prices, usually executes them pretty much right away, but sometimes it doesn't. It all depends on the option instrument. This one is not a very robustly traded option. This one is actually kind of thinly traded, but this strike price of 63, as you can see, has the most volume. So this is the most heavily traded strike price. But you know what? I'm going to knock that down to actually 20 because I think we are going to get a little bit of a price pullback during the day, hopefully. So I'm going to try to get in a little cheaper if I can. Let me transmit this sucker. See, it's only going to cost me 106 bucks. So if it doesn't work out, I'm down 106 bucks. I still have over $8,800 in cash. So this really isn't going to hurt me. But let me enter it right now. And I'm going to be watching this as the day goes. And if I decide that I do want to get in at a higher price later, I can just go over to this console, raise that price up, and adjust it. And if it's within the ask, then it will execute automatically. That is how I execute, or that is how I enter the order on my interactive broker software. Hopefully the price comes down, and it's already come down already, so I am already sitting on the bid. And there are 10 days left on that, so let's get over to the TC2000 software, and I'm going to show you why exactly I do like the probability of this trade working out for me. So let's go over there right now. All right, everybody, here we are on my TC2000 trading platform. This is the current daily chart of Gilead Sciences, ticker symbol GILD. And as we can see, Gilead has been in a vicious downtrend. And this is typically something I stay away from if I want to be long a stock. But Gilead has been like a splinter in my brain the last couple days. It keeps coming up on my catch a rally scan. And every time I am tabbing through those stocks, this one, for some reason, just keeps jumping out at me. And if I zoom in a little bit, we can see that the trend is starting to dissipate a little bit. And it might, and we have been executed. There it is right down there. So I am officially in that trade as we speak. Let me get that out of here. But for some reason, I am getting the feeling that this one is just going to take off. So I don't recommend jumping in this trade. This is just a fun trade for me, mainly because, like I said, I am just getting a feeling about this. When I get a feeling about a stock, I don't go all in. I just take a small trade because when I get a feeling that a stock is going to take off or crash and I don't end up taking it, actually more often than not, it actually does go in that direction for some reason. I don't know if that's just from years of experience or what, but Gilead Sciences is starting to hook up. Let's go to the hourly chart, and it is starting to make that very nice squeeze pattern that I like to see in those triangle consolidations. Now this one I am anticipating that breakup, so and if it does break through this level, it should be a fast move. The probability of it breaking through there quickly is probably pretty slim. That's why I went pretty light on this trade. But if we look at other dynamics of the chart, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense that it's going to be blasting up, except for some of the reasons that I pointed out earlier in the video. But as you can see, we had a similar pattern here, and it did not break to the upside. It broke down. Let me get that out of here. We had similar patterns all the way down. Here's another one where we were getting the rising lows, but it broke down. And another thing that we are seeing, if I back this chart out a little bit, if I back this chart out a little farther, you can see this concrete resistance level just above price. I mean, we had a touch here. We had a touch here. I could go on and on and on. You can see all the multiple touches. The more touches, usually the harder it is going to be for the stock to break through it. And there's just touch after touch after touch. My hand's going to get tired from drawing all these touches. But once it breaks down, this is obviously support when price was above it, but once it breaks below it, it becomes resistance. And if I zoom in a little closer, you can see that is not very high right now. That is actually right around where my strike price is. But I think if we get a move up, nobody is going to see this coming because, number one, I think people are piling in short because this stock has been in a downtrend. So this has all the recipes for a short squeeze up, and this could be a fast move. And this is what you want if you're playing short-term options. You want the possibility of a fast move up. I bought those options that were out of the money, so they are going to be cheaper, but it's going to be less probable it gets to that level. So that's definitely one thing you want to keep in mind. You don't want to be betting huge on these type of plays. But this one is going to be interesting to watch for the next couple of days till Friday for when they expire. Hopefully I do get a nice big move up, and this one is looking, I don't know, I just got a feeling that this one is going to explode higher. Before I jump onto the other charts, I do want to say that just one more time. Do not jump in and make this trade. This is just a feeling that I am having. This is a very low probability trade. This is basically just for fun and for your entertainment. But let's go to some other charts. Let's go to the stock that I did a video on yesterday. Repair Therapeutics. You can see that one is still hanging around in that consolidation. It hasn't broke up yet. It is still holding above that trend line. So the longer it hangs out in this area, the more pressure it's going to have to pop through it. So I am definitely still keeping an eye on this one. It's definitely still on my watch list. Another stock that I did a video on that is having a very nice day. Let's go back to the daily chart. After Solo pulled back from that big day, it held the lows from the previous day and finished near the highs of the day, and it is popping higher now. So this one is still very, very strong. And if we go to the hourly chart, we can see it definitely has a good chance of keeping this momentum going and blasting to a new high. So I might have been a little premature getting out of this one, but I am still happy with the gain that I had, so I am not going to kick myself for getting out a little too early. But I'm definitely keeping an eye on this, and I will look for a re-entry on this. But another stock that I was watching was FUV. And this one had a big pullback earlier in the day, but it is finishing up near the high. One of the things that I like to do, or I used to do a lot of, I don't do a whole lot of it now, but in these fast trending stocks, what I would do, I would have a couple on my watch list, and I would, before the day opened, I would put in, of course, I would check the news to make sure it's not, going to be blasting down on some, negative news that's coming out. But I would like to put my orders in right at that 8-period exponential moving average, because a lot of times when these stocks are in those uptrends, they'll come down and touch that area and end the day, much higher. So this was something that I would do when I was a little bit more active of a trader. I would try to catch these when they would come down to that 8-period exponential moving average, and then I would a lot of times just sell once it had that bounce up. But if you put that order in at about $7.21, you're looking at almost a 10% gain at the moment. My math is correct. Probably about an 8% gain, but still, that is a nice gain to have. And you can see that these stocks do it all the time. This one was in an uptrend over here, or it's been in a small uptrend. If you'd have put your order in there, it came down, you could have got out if you were nimble. There was another one. These stocks that are uptrending, they do this stuff all the time, and I usually only try to do it when they're in a nice sharp uptrend. I try not to do it when they're going sideways, even though it does work. Like here's one time when it worked very well. When it was in that uptrend, I would have probably sold. Now, if I was still using that trading system, I probably would have sold here, and then I would have seen it up here a few days later and been like, oh man, I should have held on to it. But that is just something that I used to do back in the day that I wanted to point out. A lot of times you'll see these fast trending stocks find support at that moving average. That's why when a stock is pulling back, if you're long a stock that is in a good uptrend, there's no reason to ever get in a twist until it breaks below that moving average and starts to hold and starts to stay below it and trend down like it did over here. You know, if you were playing this move up and then you got this day, that's when I would start to get worried, especially if I decided to hold on to it for a couple of more days and it continued to make this kind of formation. I would probably abandon my position there and look for a re-entry if it's something that I wanted to be into for the long term. But let me get this out of here real quick. Jump on to the next chart. Let's take a look at Nano Dimensions. Nano Dimensions was kind of strong yesterday. Oh, and we can see that it is bouncing up towards the upper area of that trend channel that I drew. And you know, if you're one of these nimble super traders and you want to get out on all of these moves, this wouldn't be a bad time to ring the register if you were playing these swings. You know, you're playing these pullbacks like I like to do it. I'm not in Nano Dimensions at the moment, but if you start playing these pullbacks in these uptrending stocks, you know, this is the area when you want to start taking your profits. If you are only playing for the swing, if you are, you know, if you believe in Nano Dimensions long term, obviously you don't want to be jumping in and out of it. But Nano Dimensions is making a very, very bullish pattern. So all of you guys that are in Nano Dimensions, congratulations, because this is still a very strong stock. Another stock that I am watching, I actually have an order in for, is IDEX. Now this is pulling back, and a lot of people would probably say this is a scary looking pullback. But this is exactly what I want to see. It hasn't executed my order yet. I have my order in at $1.01. If we go to the hourly chart, we can see that this stock is still in a very healthy uptrend. I want to get this pullback if I can because it has already broken above this resistance area. And it might be taken off without me. I probably should have raised it a little bit because if it jumps above this 8-period exponential moving average, I am probably going to adjust that limit order and just buy some up here because I think IDEX has a great chance of jumping higher. I think it has a very good chance of blasting above the 120 area. But if I go back to the daily chart just for a second, we can see it's starting to form a nice rounding bottom, and it is above that 8-period exponential moving average. So this is the area where I like to jump in and ride it for as long as it's going to go up. You never know how far it's going to go up, but you just want to get in as early as you can and try to participate in the trend, and hopefully it gets one of these. I mean, that would be fantastic, but you never know what it's going to do. But it looks like it is finally starting to come around the other side of this rounding bottom, and there is a good probability of this thing blasting higher. So chances are I am going to get into this stock today. Hopefully it comes down and hits my buy order at $1.02 or $1, but I think I might have put in $1.02. Oh gosh, I can't remember. I think I have it in at $1.02. Just missed my order. So I might be adjusting that to get in at a higher price. I was really hoping to get in at $1.02, closer to this 8-period exponential moving average. But that's how it goes sometimes. All right, everybody. Well, that's all I have for you today. But before I get out of here, I just wanted to say thank you to Millennial Money Gains. Watching one of his videos, and he gave me a shout out, and I really appreciate that. And taking the time to watch the videos and to make a comment in your videos about me. I appreciate it. But if you guys haven't heard of Millennial Money Gains, you should definitely go over and check out that channel. I was watching one of his videos the other day, and I was kind of multitasking. I was working on something, listening to one of his videos in the background, and he's usually pretty low-key and, monotone, and he was talking about a stock pulling back. I'm paraphrasing here, but he's like, this stock has been weak, it's pulling back, and lately it's been beat down like a dirty whore. I couldn't stop laughing. It just caught me off guard. It's just unusual. I mean, going over and checking out his channel just for that is worth it. But he's got some good stuff. Make sure you go over there and check out his channel as well. But folks, if you enjoyed the video or if you got anything out of it, I would appreciate a like button. And if you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already so you don't miss any future trading ideas, I would appreciate that as well. Thank you so much for watching my video all the way to the end. And until next time, take care, everybody.